everybody, my name is Quinn and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about something that I am very excited about, and that is Season 7, Episode 1 of Game of Thrones. I am so beyond excited that the season is finally here. I feel like we've been waiting for it forever because it came out later than it usually does. So today I decided to wear my Game of Thrones shirt. It says, hold the door, hold the door, hold the door. If you know what that's from, then you can keep continuing to watch this video. I would not watch this video if you're not caught up and you haven't watched Season 7, Episode 1, because that's what this video is going to be about. But if you end up catching up later, please come back to this video. I'd love to talk about it with you, but this will have so many spoilers in it, and I don't want to spoil that for you because Game of Thrones should be a surprise for everyone. So if you have watched Season 7, Episode 1, please continue watching. So Season 7 starts on the most epic note. I honestly don't think they could have started this season off any better than they did. It starts there at the Frey residence. They're having this feast while their Frey is giving this talk, and I'm thinking to myself, is this a flashback? Like, I wasn't sure what time we were in, and my boyfriend's like, yeah, it must be a flashback. We're listening to his speech, and right when he started to going into the gruesome details of the Red Wedding, I knew it was Arya. I was like, damn, yes, bitch. They started all drinking the wine, and I was like, she's killing all of them. Oh my god, I was so pumped. I was like, yes, kill all of the Freys. They all deserve to die, clearly. It was just the most epic way to start off the season. Like, 50 people dying in like the first couple minutes. Like, you can't really get any better than that. And then we see all of these White Walkers walking in army formation, and we're like, well, shit, that can't be very good now, can it? I wonder how long it's going to take in the season before they actually go to war with the White Walkers, and how many people are going to be on that side, if it's just going to be the North, or if other lords are going to come to the North's aid. I'm assuming it won't be until the end of the season because we still do have an entire other season to go, so that should be really interesting and to see how that plays out. And then we are in the North. We're in this meeting with Jon and Sansa at the head of the table, and they're kind of addressing all the representatives from the North. Jon really wants to pardon the houses that went against him. He doesn't want to punish the daughters and sons of those who made the mistakes and stood with the Ramsays, and Sansa wants to set a firm line. I see both of their points. Sansa's been really hardened by everything that she's had to go through. She's had to go through a lot and been with a lot of evil people, and that does rub off on you after a while. She wants to prove her strength to her kingdom, and Jon feels that he has been blamed a lot for others' mistakes, and the fact that he was sort of blamed for his father's mistake and the fact that he was a bastard. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, and there's no right or wrong way to go about it, but it ends up that Jon puts his foot down and he's like, no, my word is the word that we're going to go with, and he pardons those houses, and Sansa looks pissed, which she should be. I don't think Jon listens to her or takes her seriously in the way that he should, which kind of irritates me if we're being completely honest. The thing that irritated me the most about the end of Season 6 was when Sansa literally came in and saved the day. Jon and his army were toast. They were gonna die. And then she brings in this army and she's like, you're welcome, motherfuckers. And then they're all like, oh, I wonder who we should have lead the North now. Sansa, you saved everyone? No, Jon Snow, King of the North. I was like, bitch, really? Sansa has definitely had the best character development, I think, of any character on the show, and I think that really showed in this episode. She's calculating, she knows what the other kingdoms are thinking. Jon has really isolated himself in the North, and I don't think that he knows about the other kingdoms as well, and their opponents as well as Sansa does. So I think he really needs to listen to her in that respect and not be so naive about the thoughts of the other kingdoms. So he really needs to take them seriously. The one character I'm really not sure how her season will go is Cersei. Cersei has no more children. Cersei's children were the only thing keeping her from going batshit crazy. So will she go even more insane and more torturous as the season goes on? Or because she really has no allies left, will the Lannister dynasty crumble and fall? I think that the Lannister storyline is the most unknown in this season because they are so alone, and you really don't know what Cersei's motives are and what she wants to accomplish other than keeping her power, and when you only have the motive of keeping your power, what does that do to you? So I'm really anticipating seeing where her storyline is going to go, if she is going to actually align with the Iron Islands, and what that guy from the Iron Islands wants to bring to Cersei. I think that could be a game changer if he was to bring something of great value to her. And then we see Sam at the Citadel. Poor Sam, I feel so bad for him. I honestly had to like look away from the screen because there was just, it was too gross. There was too much shit. There was too much food that looked like shit. It was not a good time. But we do learn something huge at Sam's time at the Citadel, and that is all of the dragon glass needed to take on the White Walkers is in Dragon Stone, which is where Daenerys is taking up her new throne. So that is huge and kind of answers the question about how are Jon and Daenerys supposed to meet up and kind of finally realize their familial connection. We'll see if alliances will come from that, and I think that will be one of the most interesting and captivating parts of the season is seeing the two of those come together. Because I always think it's so weird that we know all of these things about these characters and they don't know how they all fit into each other's lives. And I think that is really great. We also see in this episode Bran going past the wall into the north. So will Bronn end up seeing Sansa and Jon, and how will all of their relationships survive after being apart for so long? In this episode we also get Ed Sheeran, which was kind of random, but I guess Maisie Williams has like a huge crush on him, so that kind of makes sense. But I just loved how she was like, they were like, oh, because they're obviously Lannister soldiers, and they were like, oh, what is a young girl like you doing going to King's Landing? And she's like, oh, I'm going to kill the queen. And they're like, silly girl, you're not gonna kill the queen. And she's like, bitch, yes I am. I just took down 50 people in the Frey residence. Like, you gonna stop me? It was just so funny, and I'm so glad that Macy got that moment with Ed Sheeran. I guess a lot of people are like complaining that it like took them out of the moment of the show, but you know, let Macy Williams have this. I think definitely one of the most emotional scenes in the entire episode was when the Hound revisits the house that he had visited with Arya during their journey. I don't remember what season it was, but he had robbed this family and of all of their money, and basically they starved to death because they didn't have any money to feed themselves. So he goes into their house and their bodies are still there decaying, and in the middle of the night he digs graves for them. And it's really a big character development moment from him, this idea that he is so hard and then you see him be vulnerable in that moment. I think his performance in that scene was absolutely amazing. And then the episode ended in what I have to say is one of the most perfect emotional endings that you could have asked for, with Daenerys finally coming home and regaining her throne. They said in sort of like the director interview after that they didn't want any dialogue because they didn't want to take away from the emotional moment that was in that scene, and I think it completely worked. You really see how far she has come from someone who was sold off to a foreign kingdom to someone who has built herself a dynasty. And it is just absolutely amazing to see that transformation and how much she has grown, and when she had no one and now she has a court and she has an army. It really does just bring like this whole show full circle. Like, this is how the season's going to start. This is what we've been preparing for. This is what we've been waiting for. I love Daenerys. I can't wait to see what she does with this power going forward, how she is going to interact with Jon. If we are going to figure out whether or not Tyrion is a Targaryen, it would make sense because of the three dragon theory. Let me know about what you think about that theory down below. I haven't read the Game of Thrones books. I know, I'm fake. But I do plan on reading them once all the books are out, if George R.R. Martin ever gets to that point. I'll probably listen to them all on audiobook if we're being completely honest, but I don't want to start them until they're all out, and I don't want to confuse show Game of Thrones with book Game of Thrones, if that makes any sense. So just be known that all my opinions in this video are based off of solely what I know from the show. But I am so excited for what this season is going to bring. I really am mostly interested in Sansa, Arya, and Daenerys and what their characters are going to do this season and what they are going to accomplish by doing that. Please leave your Game of Thrones theories down below. My boyfriend's theory is that the Ice King is going to completely take over all of Westeros. If you liked this video, please like it and subscribe so that I know to make another Season 7 Episode 2 discussion video, because I would love to do that for every single episode in this season, so please let me know if you would like to see that. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye guys!
In the name of our king.